Hey everyone, it's World Film Geek here, and I interviewed Lou Ferrigno Jr., the son of the legendary Lou Ferrigno, star of the Incredible Hulk series. A TV actor on his own, he's best known for the shows S.W.A.T. and Stargirl. Appears in the film Dreamcatcher, coming out this Friday. Enjoy the interview. Hey Lou, how you doing?
Good. Thanks for calling. How's it going?
I'm doing pretty well, thank you. And I gotta say, man, I'm a big fan of your dad's work, and to see that you followed in his footsteps in acting, I think that's awesome.
Oh, thanks so much, man. I really appreciate it.
So I got to watch Dreamcatcher, and this movie blew me away. I mean,
Really?
I wasn't
You're not just saying
expecting.
that.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting like to it turned out the way it did. I thought it was just going to be like a routine slasher type film, but it was much more than that. And I learned a lot about somewhat the entertainment industry as a result of this movie. But it turned out really well.
Cool. I'm excited.
So my first question is, what attracted you to the role of Colton?
I was on 911 at the time, and I was sent this script, and I read it, and it's been so long that I've read so many scripts since that I can't really remember how it played out. I kind of block things out it's just the life of how I keep my sanity.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember just the movie being so good and the film being so good. And it was a nice change of pace because I'm usually in heroic roles playing SWAT guys, detectives, firefighters.
Mm-hmm.
And to play this, like, seedy, shady guy who's out and has this, like, really cool, epic death scene. And,
Yes.
I have a very strong on-screen presence, so I wanted to take the opportunity to be in a situation where I would have to really fall victim to a killer, and I think it went pretty well. I mean, the way it was a challenge because you always want to make, like, you're thinking as an actor, but also at the same time, like, you want to put out a good product.
Mm-hmm.
And during the scene, this guy, as you saw it, the guy put the bag over, he like tried to put the bag over my head.
Yeah.
And in the script, I tried to get out, and then he just killed me. And then we tried to do it, and then I was like, no, this isn't going to work, because if you look at me on screen next to this guy, it's like I would either pummel this guy or I'd leave.
Yeah.
And it was my idea to add the crowbar stack. He put the thing over my head, and I was going to turn around and beat his ass, and then the only way that would make sense for this guy to take me down is to completely neutralize me by smashing me in the head with the crowbar. So they were worried after filming the scene because I sold it, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
and then which allowed me to really be discombobulated enough to be trippy suffocating. So it was a challenge in and of itself, but I'm always up for the challenge to play something new and something fresh.
And that was definitely was something I did not expect from you. And I thought, you weren't shady enough, but Adrienne Wilkinson's Josephine, she had to be the most shadiest character of the whole film. And she's not even obviously, spoiler alert, she's not even the killer, but man, she was just chewing up that screen. And then even when like you seem normal compared to her in that scene, it must have been a wonder to work with her in that one little scene before your epic death.
Well, like we work together, and then underlying any relationship between like on-screen man and woman, there has to be some sexual tension.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, like, why is this guy going along with this crazy, like, evil woman? And in my mind as a character, I was thinking, like, this is the one that I could never achieve, that I'll do anything for.
Yeah.
And I knew going into it that Adrienne is very experienced. She's done a lot of work. And it's hard when these characters have worked together for a long time, but the actors haven't. So I just knew when I saw her and I looked her up, I was like, I really had, she's beautiful. So I was like, okay, I could really put myself in a position to believe that this woman, I would be willing to do whatever she wants for her, in hopes of gaining her love or trust or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And when we didn't have much time to rehearse and play, but I think it really panned out well, and we we shared a lot of cool moments, and I think hopefully worked out.
I think it did. I felt like she was like the femme fatale of the film in some ways.
Yeah,
it
for
felt like
sure.
that little tension, film noir esque type thing. I thought that was awesome. What was it like working with Jacob Johnston, who wrote and directed the film? Obviously he must have given you the free reign with the death scene, but what was it like working with him? Did he, was it pretty good?
So oddly enough, like I go on a lot of auditions, and nothing's personal.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the opportunity to audition for Jacob when he was in the middle of working on Thor and all the Marvel stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I read for him, but I just wasn't right for the role. So then when this opportunity came up, he was just so great. And I was like, okay. And before every job, there's a little anxiety. You don't know how how the set's gonna be run, if there's gonna be egos or whatnot. But I show up and everyone's getting along great. And he was just so awesome, man. I mean, that scene in the movie theater where I get killed is like he let me take my time with it, and it really built that suspense of just being like, what is going on? Because in my reality, it's just me in
Yeah.
that room. But then in essence, like in reality, there's a Steadicam assistant and me, and that's it. But in the next room, there's 35 people watching on the screen. And so it was so great to work with him because he's such a creative, and he wrote it, and he knew exactly what he wanted. And I had such such a high opinion of him. And then oddly enough, the next thing I did was I was the lead of this film called Nightshade that's coming out, and he was on set, and I was like, "What's up, man? What are you doing here?" And he's like this. He wrote and directed this film. He's worked with Marvel. He's like a really unassuming dude, no ego. One of the funniest, nicest people I've met in a long time. And he was on set doing art direction. He was building sets, and he was just playing as being a role player. And then when I realized that, I'm like, this guy is awesome, and he's going to go a lot of places because he was willing just to be involved in a creative, great project, to take a lower role and to take something that's not as glorious. Mm-hmm. And he did a great job with that too. And that to me is so inspiring, and it just shows in his work.
Yeah, we definitely need more filmmakers like him. That's for sure. And a lot of these indie filmmakers, they are doing that now. They'll do anything. They can do it all, and it shows. And that's just the hard work that goes into these indie films, and I think that's why I love them so much.
Yeah, man, and people aren't really concerned with like what people go through and what it takes to get to that point of recognition. Mm-hmm. But when they get there, they're like, "God, he's so good." It's like, well, it's not necessarily talent, and it's not necessarily like it's hard work, man, and it's doing the things that you don't necessarily want to do, and not letting your ego get in the way, and great things come of it. So it was just such a pleasure all around.
That's great. So I'm guessing, aside from your epic death scene, do you have another favorite scene of the film that you would consider like, man, that was really good that you were not involved in?
I was only there one day, and we didn't. I didn't see anything. I haven't seen any of it.
Okay.
So I can't.
You're anticipating just like everyone else.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. And I mean, just the way that the press is gobbled up this. I think I've done probably six phone interviews today, and I did KTLA live and then California live, and I'm like, people are excited about this, and it's going. So
yeah, matter of fact, I'm going to be writing a review right after this interview. So, and I think you're really going to be surprised how this comes out. I think it was a great film, hands down.
You really, real talk, off the record. You really think it's good? Because I hear these things, and I read sometimes like if a reporter knows somebody, but like I'm curious to think like if unrelated, if you were to see this, would you be like that? Like would it be a really good film?
I think so, especially with the very end, which I'm not going to spoil, but the very twist at the end, it made my jaw literally drop. And when I watched it, I just yelled. I was like, "Oh my god!" And like, it just like lifted the film up. Like, I already liked it as it was, but when the ending came, I just like, "Oh my god, this is probably one of my favorite films of the year," and it's only March.
Nice, very cool.
So my last question: with film and TV production coming back. What do we have next for you?
I just got back from Atlanta. I've been working on a couple episodes of S.W.A.T that haven't aired yet. That should be coming out soon. We're in season 4, and then I just got back from Atlanta, reprising my role as the DC superhero Hour Man. That should be coming up. I think the second season airs sometime in the summer.
Woo-hoo.
So that's going to be really cool because I got a brief little shot of me in costume in the pilot, but this is going to be me in all my glory. We got a great JSA situation happening, and it's going to be really, really, really exciting.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. That's even the cool part. You followed in your dad's footsteps. You're playing a superhero. Your dad was the Hulk, and here you are playing this DC superhero. I think that's sheer awesomeness.
Well, dude, it's funny. He's my dad, so I forget from time to time. But when I was in full superhero garb, and I was with Joel McHale and Brian Stafford, it was like me, Starman, and Wildcat. So on set at the JSA table, I just FaceTime my dad, pulled him up, and the crew was like, they were completely silent. They stopped moving. They were just watching what happened. And I was like, yeah, hey guys, this is everybody. And I showed them. And then we filmed. And then at the end of the day, the first AD came up and he's like, hey man, the crew wants to say thank you so much. They're so grateful. That was such a wonderful experience for them. And I was like, I totally forgot how impactful that could be because it is pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm playing some podunk superhero. This is and I'm working with Jeff Johns and asking questions in the Hour Man costume. So whose other approval do I need other than Jeff Johns to be considered I am Rex Taylor Hour Man? So it was a really thrilling adventure. So I'm excited to be a part of it.
That's awesome. So Dreamcatcher's coming out this Friday, and those who love a combination of slasher, film noir, the whole entertainment industry, the greediness of it, they're gonna love this smashing of the film. And Lou, thank you so much for taking the time to talk about it again. And I hope people enjoy your epic death scene as much as I did, because that was awesome.
Well, I live to tell the tale, my friend. I appreciate it.
All right, you take care and stay safe.
How about you too?
All right, bye-bye.